Hi there, everyone. Welcome to this short review of week 6 of the Digital Business Models module. Okay, so I don't have a huge amount to say. I realise you're just about handing in your blog posts, which is probably why it's been a bit quiet in the course for the last few days. So I'm looking forward to seeing those tomorrow. So just by way of recap, I've written a few notes having gone through the week. And I think it's certainly worth you going back. If you haven't looked at some of the early discussions for a few days, there have been further comments that are worth going back and checking. So, for example, early in the week, there was the exercise where you produced a PowerPoint slide about attracting VC funding. And there are now several really interesting, quite detailed responses to that. So thanks to those of you who did those. And if you didn't, you might like to have a look at the ones that are in there, because there's some really good stuff there. Okay, there was also a lot of discussion about the size of a business and how realistic it is to expect a new business to just keep growing indefinitely, and some of the benefits of staying small. And interestingly, a number of you agreed with the article about this in terms of the work-life balance issues involved and the need for some businesses, or there's no point for some businesses in growing them beyond kind of a natural point that's manageable. But I think it was Max who poured cold water on this by saying that if you want to get funding from venture capitalists, then saying that you just want to do it part-time to fit in your life probably isn't the best way of getting given a large loan. So anyway, there's certainly some interesting posts there which are worth having another look at. Okay, then we went on to social entrepreneurship, and all of you agreed that this was a valuable activity, but perhaps weren't so convinced that it was something that young people were more interested in than earlier generations. I think social media has made such activity more visible and perhaps more rewarded. But I guess I agree really that there's always been people interested in that kind of activity and those that just want to make lots of money. So yeah, okay, that's probably a good point to move on. Right, what else have I got here? Oh yeah, the other point on that was that from a customer's perspective, it's all very well to say that there are sort of high ideals associated with a particular product or service, but if that means it's more expensive and beyond the reach of large sections of the population, then it's not going to be successful. Okay, and then towards the end of the week, there's a couple of exercises that I think we could quite usefully carry on into next week, because at the moment, possibly because of your blog posts, there's very little activity there. One of them concerns examples of successful digital transformation. I think that's something that we could usefully build on with a few more examples. And also the concluding exercise about thinking the unthinkable fits quite well actually with the final week themes. So that may well be another activity we can carry on and add some more contributions to over next week as well, because at the moment there's none there at all. So that would be good. Okay, so just by way of recap then, where we're up to, we're almost at the end of the course, believe it or not. So final week next week, I will get cracking with the marking tomorrow and get those back to you by the end of the week, hopefully. And yeah, so next week is really all about consolidating what you've done. Do look back at some of those examples I've mentioned, and I look forward to seeing your final contributions. Thanks very much.